And we are live. Can y'all see me? I'm dark, huh? I should have the light on. Anyway, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles. Thank you for watching the Griot. We are checking out Mike Epps' Unsuccessful Thug. It's a book he has out. We're gonna check it out real quick. Mike Epps is, if you don't know who Mike Epps is, Mike Epps is a very popular comedian. He's been in such movies as I believe it was Next Friday After Next, Next Friday. I think Next Friday was his first movie. And he's just been in a lot of movies. He was in Hangover 2 and 3, bunch of stuff. Um, anyway, this is his autobiography, which I feel like Mike Epps. He's been around. I mean, he's been around for a while, but I feel like his career still. I always feel like when people make biographies, I think a biography is something that you make when you're like older, like Eddie Murphy, right? If he was to write a biography, that would make sense because, he's in his 60s, he's done everything, he's been in everything. You know what I'm saying? But Mike Epps, I feel like it's still, I mean, he's an OG, he's older, but I feel like his career is still climbing for him to be doing an audiobook. Anyway, we're going to check it out, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for watching the Degree.
Remember the time. No matter how rough anything was in the rest of my life, I always showed up on time and worked hard to get it right. Work made everything better and distracted me from things I didn't want to think about. I did so much fun stuff. There was How High with Method Man and Redman. I
Oh,
came in
shit.
originally just as a writer to punch it up and help make it funnier, but ended up appearing in it too. In 2000, I shot a movie in Toronto called Bait with Jamie Foxx. He plays this small-time thief who gets caught stealing some shrimp. Sorry, prawns. And then the cops use him as bait to catch this bigger criminal. I love that movie. And at the time, I had a publicist who
I forgot about Bait. That movie did that movie do good? Oh, I forgot all about that movie. It was like they think it was like the shit was boring. I think I remember going to see that shit in the theaters, and I fell asleep. But yeah, I forgot all about that movie.
was this beautiful Ethiopian chick who I ended up being in a relationship with. Elena and I were no longer together. But she kept trying to make my life better. And when women try to make me better, that's when I get stubborn and do everything to be the opposite of what they're trying to make me. She wanted me to work out more. Instead, I started eating a ton of potato chips. Not long before he died, Bernie Mac did a movie with Samuel L. Jackson called Soul Men. Slogan, out of sync, never out of style. About two soul legends who get back together for a show at the Apollo. Bernie was funny as hell. I was so happy to have a role in that movie just so I could meet him and learn from him. Between sets, we would sit and talk. I had him on the floor because I did impressions of comics from Chicago that he came up with. Give me some advice, I told him. Cover your own ass, he told me, or someone else will. Take care of your mind, body, and I thought he was going to say soul, your money. Shooting the first Hangover movie in which I played mistakenly
That's real shit. Your mind, body, yep. Take care of your mind, body, and your money. That's deep.
kidnapped Black Doug was like being around a bunch of guys hanging out after school. They were just cracking each other up. I don't think anyone knew that movie was going to be as huge as it was. I got
Over.
brought back as Black Doug not long after in The Hangover Part 3. Those guys showed back up having made some money, and they had better haircuts, nicer clothes, and cuter girlfriends. Around that time, I got a serious role in a movie called Sparkle, directed by Salim Akil. The movie was about a young girl group from Detroit in the 1960s. I think a lot of people in Hollywood don't understand that I'm just a better serious actor than I am a comedian. This was a chance for me to show my shit, you know? And I do a lot of homework on the character. I reach back into my past. I knew so many big personalities growing up that it's easy for me to tap into a role. I still have all those people from my old neighborhood, all those people's voices and walks and histories, all at my fingertips. We shot Sparkle in Detroit in the wintertime, so it was cold as hell. But I was so
Sparkle.
grateful every minute I was.
Is that the one? That's the one with Whitney Houston, right? The part, yeah, that's the one. That's the last movie she did before she passed away, I believe. Well, I'm thinking about Dream. No, Dream. No, it wasn't Dream Girls. Yeah, Sparkle. I think Jordan Sparks played her daughter. That's back when Jordan Sparks was on American Idol and she blew up. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
there. One of the greatest things
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies. Shit, I forgot he was in Sparkle. He played the abusive boyfriend in that movie. Yeah.
about it was that Whitney Houston was in it. This shit they
Yep. That's
said
the
about
movie.
Whitney being sort of crazy, she was a total pro from what I saw. And she was magic. That voice. Jesus. In person, it's even more amazing than you think it's going to be. Once I walked by her trailer, and out of the window I heard her doing a duet with Michael Jackson to Remember the Time. He was coming out of speakers, but it sounded like he was right there in the room with her. I still get chills when I think about that. One of my favorite movies I've ever made was All About the Benjamins, another film with Ice
Mm.
Cube. TC had gone around trying to get someone to make that movie for a while. He and the writer went in to meet with Magic Johnson to see if he'd be in it too. Who's going to star? Someone on Magic's staff asked. Mike Epps, TC said. What's he been in? They asked. Next Friday and Bait, TC said. That's 1.5 movies, said the
Oh
staffer.
shit.
Magic turned the movie down. He did a movie with Mos Def and Queen Latifah instead.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Ice Cube was in.
Wait a minute. What movie did he do with Queen Latifah and most? Oh, this is the one where he was the basketball player. That movie was horrible. Was that the one? Magic Johnson was in that. Was he? Okay.
So it was all good. We shot the movie down in Miami. I had so much fun on that set, but sometimes it was at the expense of my fellow actors. For a start, they bring in a really professional actor to play Mr. Sheldon. He's a thespian. As the cameras roll, I start improvising, and the professional actor hates it. Cut, says Kevin Bray, the director. The Mr. Sheldon actor says, are we changing the lines? Everyone else liked what I was doing, though. Bray said to him, you deliver the lines the way you want to, and so will Mike. So the guy delivers his lines. I improvise again. Mr. Sheldon, I'ma quit coming here. I'ma start going to Dwight. Dwight who? The actor says, exasperated. The white around your lips? He had a white
Yep.
beard and mustache, get it? They
I remember that shit. I remember. I never did realize. Okay, because the dude had a great. I didn't get that part. Okay, now I get it. He said the white around your lip because he had. If y'all remember that movie, all about the Benjamin. It's that first scene he was in the store, and the old. I always wondered why he meant by the white around your lips. I remember because he had a goatee.
kept it in the final film. While we were filming that movie, I got a call from a friend of mine back in Indianapolis. You know that old house you're always talking about? The one on 33rd and Carrollton? It's up for sale. Whoa, I said. I got to have that shit.
Hmm.
I got a broker, and the broker went to the owner. The neighborhood had come up a little bit, so I ended up spending about $80,000 on it.
Hmm.
But I bought it, finally. I went to Indianapolis. It was eerie pushing my way through the fence, walking into the yard. I opened the front door and walked inside. That's where Cheney and I wrestled. That's where my mom fed us SpaghettiOs. That's where we watched TV, and I saw Eddie Murphy do buckwheat for the first time. I went to my
Ladies.
mom's house and told her I had a surprise for her. I drove her to the Carrollton house. This is your house now, Mom, I said.
Hmm.
You can live here again. No one is ever going to take it from you. It's ours.
That's
We
beautiful.
own that shit.
That's fucking beautiful, man. See, this stuff. I wish I. This stuff. I wish I could have done. I mean, my mama had her own house. My mom always had her own house, but I just wish I could have been successful enough to do something like that. Buy my mama a brand new Bentley or something just like thank you before she left here. But I didn't. I didn't get a chance to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just wish I could have been successful faster. while she was, but you just expect your mama to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. I was not to start tearing up in his mother. Shut up, Alexa.
You bought this house, Mike? She said. Yeah, I said. You bought it with the money you made in Hollywood? Yeah, I said.
Dope,
I bought this house with the money I made acting.
dope.
I want you to live here again. I'm giving you the house. It's yours. She was quiet for a minute. I'm real proud of you,
Mm,
she
mm,
said. That's real sweet of you. Then she got quiet. But Mike, I'm sorry. I ain't moving in there. That time is gone, baby. I can't relive none of that shit.
mm,
I ain't doing it. Well, I remembered wrestling for fun with Cheney. She remembered fights with Reggie.
mm,
She remembered worrying about her kids having enough to eat. I was sad she didn't want to be
mm,
there, but I understood. That was a dark time in our lives.
mm,
I wanted to fix it, but it's not so easy. Instead, I gave the house to my sister Julie and her son to live in,
mm,
and I kept buying up property in the neighborhood. My grandmother had moved out of her house and retired to Florida. She had sold the house to one of the guys who went to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses with her, a brother named Marvin Johnson. He told my grandmother, if you ever want this house back, I'll sell it to you. I called him up. Hey, Marvin, I said, Miss Anna Walker wants the house back. I moved my aunt into that one.
mm.
I bought the whole block and a lot across the street.
Damn.
Every movie meant another
Mm,
house. Owning property for me is about saying I made it. I became somebody. Those deeds mean a lot to
mm,
me. I guess it's because I came from that neighborhood, made it out of there, and now get to go back and say, you don't own me anymore, Mapleton. I own you.
dope.
Back when I was a kid there, me and my friends, we didn't get a lot of recognition for who we were. In fact, there was nobody there to give us recognition. If we were great, we didn't know it because nobody told us. Going back there now, taking care of people, that lets me say those people were great. And maybe I was too.
That's good, man. So that's an excerpt from Mike Epps, an unsuccessful thug. Mike Epps, man. That was beautiful. You know, it's deep that he bought that house with his mama. His mama was like, I don't want to stay in that house. Like that, that was back when we were struggling. You want and it's something to be said about that. Like she got put out that house, when they were broke. Um, and he thought that buying the house would show like, hey, you got put out this house, but now you own it now, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful gesture to do for your mom. But it was something interesting to say about his mom's. She was she was thankful, and she was happy that her son is, he's doing well. He's making it in Hollywood. She's proud of him on that factor, but at the same time, being that her son is such a success, and his son is moving forward. Her kids are grown. Life is moving forward. She's in a better place. So she don't want to go back to where, what I'm saying. And that's, and I think Mike got it. Like, yeah, mom, you got a point. Like, you don't want to go back to where like we doing good now. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense. Like, buy me a house somewhere, shit, away from this shit. I don't want to be over here with this. Where we where we was over here struggling. Like, nah, get me somewhere in a gated community. You know what I'm saying? You my son. You got money now. You made it big. Like, I don't want to go back to this. You know. But even if you didn't make money, you don't want to go back. If you're doing better than what you did years later, even without the Hollywood money, why would you want to go back to where you were struggling? That's just, you just reminding yourself where you were struggling. Anyway, this was a good book. It's a good excerpt. Y'all want to go check, y'all can go purchase it or whatever. Check it out yourself. Go ahead and give me the thumbs up button. What do y'all think about that, man? Beautiful story, right? What do y'all think? Leave your comments in the comments. And if you haven't, give me that thumbs up button and subscribe to Griot. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care.